Once again, he asked Schnarder, how many bodies did you catch?
Born on November 11, 1995, King entered the world with two incredibly rare abilities: manga control, control over manga at an atomic level, and the Six Eyes, because his existence fundamentally shifted the balance of power. Instead of raising him as a child, he was raised as a god.
What's going on, guys? I'm your host, Twan, and we are back with another video. And today, it's ELECEED, chapter 409 and 410. Let's lock in, shall we? The chapter immediately hits the ground running, with Caden visiting the good Dr. Delaney. My mans is looking shook though, being in our ghost's presence. But Dr. Delaney goes on to tell Caden that the neutralizer is called AW3, and he was going to exchange his life over it, which is very out of character, not just for Dr. Delaney, but for Caden as well, considering the world views both of these motherfuckers as selfish. Since Caden got all the information he needed out of Dr. Delaney, he tells him don't do anything stupid until he gets back. We then see Gastella carrying Caden to Frame's base of operations, and upon arrival, Caden asserts his dominance. He tells them, look gang, hand over the neutralizer or I'ma have my bitch neutralize her. The choice is yours. Upon hearing this, Stussy is like, hold on now, who out here telling Aunt Gemini a secret recipe? She figures out it was Dr. Delaney and decides he needs to die. But Caden not trying to hear none of that shit, gang. He goes on to tell her he needs him alive and he needs a neutralizer. Simple as that. But before Caden can even finish his sentence, Schnarder activates his power and tells him, hold on gang, this is my house. This is my turf. Who the fuck is you making demands of? But shit, y'all know Caden came to stand on business and niggas' necks at the same damn time. Remember, Frame tried to kill Caden multiple times and he never forgot that shit. So he makes them an offer and he'll let bygones be bygones if they give up the neutralizer. Now remember, this beef between Caden and Frame started a long time ago and been brewing even harder ever since Jiwoo dog walked Duke in their last battle. And with Andre being gone and the other top 10 joining forces, Frame fighting Caden and losing another body, and they will lose another body, will put them in a dire situation to where they can't hold their own position in the top 10 anymore. After crunching the numbers, Stussy decides it's better to give him what he wants and go our separate ways, but Schnarder not having any of it. Remember, Caden has constantly been a thorn in their side from his clash with Andre in 213, then again in 259, then again in 319. So for him, it's like, damn, how many times we gonna let Caden walk over us? But as the chapter ends, I'm rooting for Schnarder, gang, because he's not like Eudoro. He's more calm and level-headed, and he's not letting pussy control him or put him in any type of situation or binds. As chapter 410 kicks off, Caden is still standing on business, but Schnarder matching energy. He tells Stuffy he knows she wants to accept the conditions, but what happens when people find out they gave in to Caden's demands? Their reputation is already plummeting from multiple losses to Caden at this point, and you could say Frame's Caden's underlings. I'm not lying to you. But Suffery doesn't care how Schnarder feels. She can tell by looking in Caden's eyes he wants them to say no. He wants them to run him his fade. But before she can finish her train of thought, Caden tells their ass he not blackmailing them just to make this clear. He's simply offering them a chance to bury their crimes against him, which is a fair deal. All he asking for is two small requests, nothing major or damaging. Gastella at this point is soaking wet. Seeing Caden assert his dominance over Frame, the girl is hanging on his every word. Caden goes on to say he acknowledges Schnarder and he will allow him to fight him if he wants to after things are all said and done. At this point, Schnarder loses his motherfucking mind, cause who the fuck does Caden think he is? This is Frame's base, these are Frame's people, and at any moment Caden will get jumped. But for some reason, they didn't lift a finger. Why? I'll tell y'all why a little later on. Caden then flexes his credentials and asks Schnarder, hey bro, how many bodies you catch? Because unlike back in the day when Caden used to challenge every top 10 ranker only to get turned down or jumped, he's currently taken down 3. So once again, he asks Schnarder, how many bodies did you catch? Schnarder goes silent. No aura, no glowing red eyes, nothing. Bro just shook. But at this point, Caden tells him he can relate. If he wasn't Frame's leader, he'd have fought the other top 10s as well, because just like Caden, He wants to fight strong people. It's just that the other top 10 are pussies and are too worried about reputation to stand on business. And at this point, Schnatter stands down and gives in to Caden's demands, noting he's gotten much better at both talking and fighting, and takes his leave. The chapter then shifts gears to Ji-Woo's house, and everyone is shocked that Caden got the neutralizer without killing him. And let's be honest, I wanted to see bro fight. I'm not gonna lie, him and Schnatter going one-on-one, I need to see that. But Ji-Woo thanks Caden and then runs off to inform Ji-Young that they can help cure Ji-Suk. As the chapter comes to an end, Caden thanks Gastella, because without her help, Frame would have jumped Caden, or even worse. But since she stood by his side, he was able to help Ji-Suk and Ji-Woo. Gastella tells him he always says thank you when it comes to Ji-Woo, but nothing else.
After being bisected, King experienced an afterlife sequence where he reunited with his deceased friends, expressing a lack of regrets, noting he really thought he was the strongest. But Gojo was that much stronger.